For day 2 of the summative, you will be making an analysis of all the evidence, effective evidence that you found the day before, yesterday. So you have 9 pieces of evidence from 3 separate sources. What you need to do now is analyze it. And when we analyze, you are looking at the evidence. There's 2 parts, looking at the evidence to make an inference to prove your claim of the world's biggest issue. So in this document, an example of analysis and directions, it's the same thing that I asked you to do when you were analyzing bias and when you were analyzing the effective or credible evidence. It's the same thing. So please go back to those 2 documents and look at the feedback I gave you in Canvas. So here's a slide on evidence and finding evidence for a coherent, we already talked about that in class, analysis. Here's the formula. You begin with the specific words from the text, from the quote that you have to prove the claim, add an inference on how those words help prove the claim, and write the analysis in this order. Parts of the text plus the inference that proves the claim equals an analysis. So words from the quote. So if you begin with your evidence. Mental health reports that each year 5,000 young people kill themselves due to depression. Sorry, it's a sad topic. The fact that 5,000 teens kill themselves. That comes directly from the quote. I'm not using the entire quote. I'm just using those words. And I'm going to make an inference. The fact that reflects the pain and anguish. Here's my inference. The teen must have been suffering before that led up to that, but it also makes their friends and family suffer. So this is my analysis, my inferences. I take the words from the text plus inferences lead to this analysis. So it's going to be evidence and analysis. So here's my piece of evidence I begin with. Here's the facts from the quote, and here are the inferences. So when you put it all together, this is what we're actually going to be doing for the essay. For you, you just need this part of it right here. It goes into one part of the graphic organizer, and this part goes in the other. So if we look at the graphic organizer, here's the example. This is where you're going to put the quote. I left the quote out. This is where you're going to put the quote. And then this is where you put the quote, and then this is the analysis. So you have evidence 1 and analysis. You have a quote and the analysis. Quote, analysis. You have words from the text, and then you have inferences. So in this, I said that from the evidence, there's 16 million people trafficked for forced labor. These 16 minutes are forced to do jobs without pay. This is my inference. My inference is that these activities are probably illegal, and they will get into legal problems, maybe end up in prison or worse. That is my inference based on all those people. So I don't just write, this is a lot of people, therefore it's a worldwide issue. No, that's clear it's a lot of people. You need to talk about the effects and how big the effects are and what type of effects there could be. You need to be specific in your inferences. So you should already have all the evidence for each of these. Now you need to do the analysis. And remember, it goes across. So you already have the evidence, it's quoted, you include the source, it's a complete sentence. It's also in formal style. Do not use I, me, or you unless it's in a quote. And then you're going to write your analysis. So which words from the quote help make inferences about how it proves whatever your claim is, which topic is the worldwide issue.